Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. I thought this was absolutely fantastic, so I decided to talk a little bit about it. I'll just jump right into it and you'll kind of get it. On Thursday, Dovey Wan, managing director of Danhua Capital and a crypto investor, took to Twitter to provide an interesting point of insight into the crypto industry, noting that Binance outperforming Deutsche Bank in Q1 of 2018. They wrote, Binance now has 300-ish employees, no headquarter, no central campus, even the founders are constantly on the move. The friction of communication has to be tiny in order to get things done in such fashion, which is unbelievable for a traditional corporate structure. They wrote, Binance surpassed Deutsche Bank in profits in Q1 of 2018. For those who are listening and are not looking at the screen, I will read it out for you. It says Binance had a profit of $200 million in Q1, while Deutsche Bank had a profit of $146 million. Deutsche Bank has 100,000 employees, while Binance has 200. Deutsche Bank has been around for 148 years, and Binance has been around for 8 months. Backing this seemingly outrageous claim, Wan posted an image which gave a short yet sweet side-by-side comparison of the two firms. Deutsche Bank, which has been one of Europe's foremost financial institutions for more than a century, pulled in a sizable profit of $146 million in Q1 of 2018 after giving salary to over 100,000 employees and fulfilling its operation costs. On the other hand, Binance, which was founded only in July of 2017, raked in $200 million after its operation margin, topping Deutsche profits by 35%. However, her comments quickly sparked some conflict within the Twitter thread, with some noting that there is more of an apples to oranges comparison, as both of the firms operate with an entirely different structure in separate industries. Acknowledging this, Danhua executive went on to make a better comparison, trying to make it a more of an apples to apples. This time, she contrasted Binance and the NASDAQ Capital Markets Exchange, revealing that Binance's Q1 profits were only $9 million shy of NASDAQ's, even with the crypto exchange's relatively small team. While this by no means shows that crypto is surpassing traditional markets, Wan indicated that these statistics show that decentralized technologies and markets hold disruptive potential. This is why I think you may have noticed not even just a lot of people getting into the cryptocurrency industry. If you were here about a year or two ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, I've said this before, there were a lot of companies and entities, and especially banks, who did not want to touch crypto. They thought crypto was a joke. And we even had at the beginning of this year, I want to say even like February, and then also sometime in the middle of 2017, we had a lot of reports from world governments. And that's why it's kind of even more spectacular, is that they had multiple reports, multiple countries, multiple agencies who all said that crypto is not disruptive. It is not going to rattle and or shake the traditional markets. It is kind of where it is, and it will kind of always stay this way, especially after the market started pulling back. This one, I think we had about 3 or 4 of them, maybe sometime. I can't remember exactly who they were from, but many agencies and entities talking about that because the bubble had popped, and crypto would never get any larger. They expected that crypto would never be able to outpace any type of traditional finance, or that it would never be an actual threat to any part of the system. But that's just a little side note on that. This person said, and I quote, yes, there is nuance in compliance costs, etc. The comparison mainly tries to illustrate an industry with exponential growth plus disruptive potential. If Amazon can be accessible outside NASDAQ, why Chinese investor has to pay super high PE for local SHIT? Liquidity brings optionality. As per a previous Ethereum World News report, Binance's CEO expects for his firm to pull in $1 billion in profits for all of 2018, even amidst a bearish market that has plagued investors since January's all-time highs. This substantial profit figure could be attributed to the firm's rapidly pudding user base, along with near consistent volume levels on its over 100 trading pairs. According to Tsao, his company has now supported over 10 million customers, generating an average of $1.5 billion in trade volume each and every day. To give the user base figure a bit of a perspective, Binance only had 2 million users at the start of 2017. I remember when Binance first got started, a lot of people thought they were just a new name that was going to kind of be around there, and they became the #1 crypto exchange in the entire world. My point is, a lot of people, I try to, like I said, when I bring news or when I talk about news, I try to put things into perspective, because I know it seems a bit jumbled, especially if, like, first of all, there's so much news happening all the time. I can understand that things kind of get a bit, thrown into your face constantly. You can't really put everything into perspective. Binance has been around for a year, maybe less than a year, I think, when they officially got started. The fact that this has happened so quick, and even more so on that note, the fact that they are only trading cryptocurrencies is an incredibly large thing to think about. When you think about banks and what they do and what they hold and what they're trading against, and the derivatives and the golds and the futures and the ETFs and the mutual funds and the hedge funds, these are major things around the world. When you can create a company that has maybe 300 employees with no headquarters, no central campus. They're flying around the world all the time giving speeches and stuff like that. They don't even have like a proper real like major office. And you can make more money than one of the oldest banks in the entire world. That sets off a lot of alarms for people in traditional finance who said that for a very long time that the crypto would never be anything. And it's not a mistake. And I'm going to say this, that I spoke about this in the last video, that Yahoo now has an iOS app that now offers trading and buying and selling of cryptocurrencies. They also have prices listed on their website. Bloomberg now has a section for Bitcoin news. CNBC also has the Bitcoin price. New York Stock Exchange also has the Bitcoin price. And even on this entire topic, Coinbase said that they had more than $1 billion in revenues last year. Coinbase, in the last 6-7 months, I want to say, they have been trying to also get banking licenses and all these other things to be able to hold securities and to be able to do this and to be able to do that. What's going to happen is, at least my prediction, is that we're going to have a space relatively soon, because of what's being built up and the New York Stock Exchange and all these other things are trying to get into crypto, where, and it's still predicted by a lot of people that banks may falter, or that the banking system as we know it right now may not be the exact same way. This has been this is a question that a lot of people have been asking in the comment section. A lot of other people have been answering them. Thank you very much for your help. People have been asking, if banks die, what's the point of XRP? The point is not that when banks die that XRP is also going to die, is that the current banking structure as we have it right now will probably cease to exist, where things take 7 business days in order to get to you, or we have extremely high fees, or this is also an issue. It'll be that everything will start flowing through crypto and not through these 40-year-old systems that the world is forced to use. Yes, they are forced to use them. And this is kind of, thank you once again for those who have been answering the question, because I can't always get back to every single comment. Back on track. We're going to have a very different world in a couple of years, and it's going to be one where all of these institutions that made fun of us for such a long time, 5-6 years, are now desperately trying to get into the cryptocurrency space. Just to put this into a bit of perspective, I found the Q1 earnings for Goldman Sachs, and their net revenue was around $10 billion, give or take. It's up a little bit over here. This is a company or a bank or an institution or an entity, whatever you want to call them, that has been around for quite a long time, and they do a lot of things. This is why I said, put into perspective that Binance and Coinbase aren't doing anything else. These are just the profits that they're getting from other people trading cryptocurrencies back and forth. Think of all the work that banks have to put in. Think how many people that they have hired. Think of how much more profit that they're going to make. When we have a proper structure for security tokens, things are as declared as securities, things that are tokenized assets, which is also going to be a very big thing. I think I tried to touch on that in another video. I'm pretty sure I spoke about that for at least like 10 minutes. What's going to end up happening is that a lot of people are already working on this to tokenize assets, in that anything that you have that might be valuable, you'll be able to put onto a blockchain. And Coinbase and a lot of other people have already stated that they're going to also try and get into this game, where pretty much if you have tokenized your car or your house and you can then put fractions of it onto a blockchain, you will also then be able to, let's say this is all built on top of the Ethereum blockchain, you will also then be able to put this on top of, or rather integrate it or have it on Binance the same exact way that a lot of other people are putting their money on. The point is that as time goes on and then more infrastructure is built around even these crypto exchanges who are just, people are trading crypto back and forth, and this is how they're getting all of this money. When they actually have other things in the crypto space and the blockchain space becomes a lot larger, their profits are going to completely outpace banks who are not smart enough to get into it. And as of now, it looks like that's a lot of them who are just not paying attention to crypto, not even listing the prices of them. It's actually kind of interesting. I was trying to look for other, not countries, but like other major news outlets. And a lot of the other ones, when you read the news, they completely think that crypto is a farce. I don't know what to tell them. We'll see exactly what happens in 5 years. Just kind of my thoughts on this. I saw this and I thought this was absolutely fantastic to have something that's almost 150 years old and something that's less than a year completely pass you by in profits, when I'm sure when they got those, what was it, $146 million profits that they were patting themselves on the back because they thought they did so well. And then to have a bunch of young people who are flying around the world on their computers making more than them, I'm sure that does not feel nice for them. Alrighty, everyone. Just wanted to bring you that news. The market is down, but keep your head up. I love crypto, and I do not see it going anywhere anytime soon. Thank you once again for watching and or listening, depending on how you're getting this news. Thank you once again for all the support, and I will talk to you all soon. See you.